Hey guys, it's Comics G-Man here today. Got a lot to talk about. Had a day off, caught up on some of my stuff. I finished Creature Commandos episodes 6 and 7, and they were fantastic. They were great. 6 showed you Dr. Phosphorus and his origin story, and it was a hell of an episode. Had a hilarious dance scene of him taking over, having vengeance on the goons that murdered his wife and child. And after killing the gang leader, he took over the gang himself. And it was like this kind of like hilarious Michael Jackson dance video that they had going on. It was really fucking funny, actually. And dude, I'm telling you, man, like this is so good. And then episode 7 showed you the origin story of Nina, and it was unbelievable, man. Like I was like tearing up. It was really good, like well written, tragic story. What happens? And spoiler alert. Nina gets murdered by the princess because she's the only one who could kill the princess at one moment because the princess is like surrounded by so many guards, and the bride is like, "You're the only one who could do it. Just go on in the water underneath and kill the princess." And the weasel fucks it up because the weasel remembers the princess as the little girl that he saved in the last episode. I was right about that. I was right. I said in my last episode, I bet that the princess is that little girl that the weasel saved, and I was right. So he fucks up Nina from killing the princess, and the princess sees her underwater just about to stick a knife in her stomach and twist it like the bride told her to do. And the princess like turns around and fights her underwater, and they're like struggling with each other, but the princess like fucking takes the knife out of her hands and like stabs Nina to death, and murders Nina. And like it was just like so good. And the reason why this episode, the last episode specifically, really hit home, like just the great build up throughout the show, and then like because you see all of these creatures and all of their powers and what makes them monsters, from the bride, from Dr. Phosphorus, Weasel's turning out to be that he was an innocent creature, everything, GI robot, you go on. It was tragic because Nina actually wasn't a monster at all. She wasn't a monster at all. She was born with her lungs outside of her body, and her father was like some like biologist, scientist, whatever. And the mother even like left her, and the father was trying everything. Like he made her when she was an infant. He gave her like a suit. Let me see if I can find a picture of that if they have it. I just want you, if you guys haven't seen it, and even if you're not going to watch it, let me just type in Nina baby, right? Let's see what comes up. Uh, yeah, like okay, wait, that's like what happens afterwards. Well, anyway, like they show her like she's a regular baby at first. Actually, she's a human, and she can't breathe right because she's got her lungs outside of her body, which is like crazy. So like the father builds her like this metal exterior that helps her breathe, and there's like these things that are pumping out on her back, and it was really good, dude. Like I was really feeling so sorry for Nina and the father, and like the mother who gave birth to her like ditched them. Like she said, "This is torture. This is no life for her. What about tomorrow? What about the next day?" Like, and she just left them. You know what I mean? And the father eventually kind of goes a little crazy, and he mixes her DNA with like they don't say specifically what, like just aquatic fish, and she turns into this, right? She's like an Abe Sapien kind of character from Hellboy a little bit. I mean exactly, almost like the way they designed her design. She's like the Abe Sapien character from the Hellboy. Um, but I really loved what they did with this. It was like, ultra sad, but it was like just so well written, and the voice acting was so good. So he eventually, the father takes her to like a school, and she's very well educated, and he wants her to be like socialized, and obviously she doesn't get along with anybody. They all outcast her, make fun of her. So she eventually like runs away from the father, like leaves him a note that she loves him. It's not him. She just can't live this life. Like she just doesn't fit in with humanity. So like there's like these great scenes where she's going down the sewers. She takes all her clothes off and she dives into the water and disappears, and the father doesn't see her again for a long time. But then you find out, like, there's this tragic part of the story where they're like, people have been saying rumors that there's a creature living in the water in our water system, and she becomes like this kind of mythological creature to people, right? So a photographer captures her, and then the authorities figure out where she is, and they come after her. And the father sees her on TV, and like he comes to the scene where they're like taking her, and the father like is telling him like, no, she can't breathe, you got to put her back in the water. And he says, Nina, you weren't a burden to me, because like in her letter to the father she says, I'm going to leave because I know what a terrible burden I am to you. And it's like not true though, because the father throughout the whole origin story, like he has this like unbridled like love for his daughter. He didn't care about all the issues. Like he did everything in his power to try to make her live a life, right? And it fails obviously, but he loved her no matter what. He didn't have any issues. So, but she just had this horrible, tremendous guilt of how she felt, you know. So then the father's like running towards her, and he's like, you weren't a burden, you were the greatest gift. And then the cop like shoots him in the back and murders him because he was like fighting the cops to get to her, and like, you know, all of that. So then she's screaming, like they put her in the tank, and you know, that's the last she ever saw of her father. And she's that's it. So she didn't actually have like any monstrous powers. She was just a regular girl who was just like a lagoon creature, and she wasn't a murderer either. So like when the bride sends her out to kill the princess, like she's not really a trained killer. She's just at Belle Reve because they didn't want her living in regular society. So it's like extremely like tragic, and you find out that they didn't want her to kill. It was a total mistake to kill the princess. So in a way, sending her out was a mistake. So like it's like double tragedy, bro. You have to watch the show really to see what I'm talking about. But it was brilliant. And the princess that they were supposed to kill, the bride ends up murdering her anyway just for killing Nina. And like the bride is just hilarious, dude. Like she doesn't give a fuck about anything. She does what she wants. I love the character. But yeah, dude, I want a season 2. I really want a season 2. I was looking up some news, Creature Commando news, and like where to watch Creature Commandos online ahead, blah blah blah, but they are making a season 2. So I'm happy about that. DC reveals which of the Belle Reve inmates are coming on season 2. Yeah, like at the end they bring the bride back to the prison, and you see G.I. Robot is still alive, and you see King Shark. So I'm looking forward to that. I am looking forward to that. I don't want to read any more about that. Let's see what this... Like, I think people didn't like the show. I don't know if it had a great reception, but me personally, I absolutely loved the show. Oh, look at this guy says, I was a little underwhelmed by the Suicide Squad's versions of King Shark, but that's only because I love the Computer Geek version from the Harley Quinn show so much. Giving a giant shark the voice of Ron Funches is Oh, dude, he's right. Like, I love the Harley Quinn show. Yeah, dude, King Shark in that is hilarious, dude. So is that's going to be like they're going to base his personality off the Harley Quinn show? That'll be great. I hope they do. That is my favorite version of King Shark, too. I like King Shark in the Suicide Squad, but it's so hacked to make the big guy a generic dum-dum. Yeah, dude, I prefer the cartoon version also. I agree with that. So, yeah, guys, I can't wait for Season 2. I'm stoked. What a great show. Totally underrated. I don't hear enough people talking about Creature Commandos. And I was just looking up, like, comics on eBay just to see what they have. So, like, they got, like, these weird tail comics from 2000 for, like, $90. A lot of money. And it's only, like, 8 issues. So I guess it was, like, a miniseries. And I do know there was, like, a Frankenstein Agent of Shade thing. I never read it, though. Like, yeah, look, here's, like, a trade paperback, I think, right? Frankenstein Agent of Shade. I never read it. Seems cool, though. You are right, evil thing, my flesh may indeed be a twisted aberration, but inside lives the soul of a man. The same cannot be said for you. For decades, Shade has defended the earth against threats to eldritch and terrible, to reveal to the public at large, and one man, one monster has been their secret weapon. Frankenstein. Yeah, dude, I gotta check that out one day. That's really cool. Really cool. I never read any of the Creature Commando comics. Oh, look, they have a more recent one. Is this... What's this? Is this based off the show, or is this like its own thing? It doesn't look like the show. I've never read this. DC Horror presents. Alright, so this looks like it's like... Oh, look, Brainiac even shows up in this little one here. You know, I might look into that. I might look into that. Because, dude, I haven't been getting new comics in the mail, dude. Like, they've been taking forever. The new comics that I pre-ordered a couple months ago, like, I still haven't gotten my new Supergirl comics that were supposed to come into May. So I don't know what the hell is going on with that. I'm waiting for my new issues to come in. So I'm, like, way behind on that, which pisses me off a little bit. But I'm being patient because I do like the company, the 412 Comics on eBay. They're pretty good. What's this? Oh, variations of $90. Oh, my God. This doesn't look like the show, though. This looks like something totally different. Let's see how it looks like from 2000. Creature Commandos 2000. I wonder who... There's Frankenstein, but I don't know. Is that werewolf guy? Bionic Man or something? Is that supposed to be the bride? I don't know who those... I never read the 2000 one. Oh, wow. Look how old school this is. Look at that back of the cover. Intense entertainment. Watch the multipath adventures of Superman. Wow, that's funny. I even looked up... I have a lot of the DC Showcase books, so for some reason I thought that they had a Creature Commandos thing, but I was confusing it with the Sergeant Rock one that I have, which is... which one is that? Is there even that, or am I mixing it up? I'm mixing it up, I think. Legion of Superheroes, the Men of War? I think Men of War, maybe? Or is it... No, Our Army at War is something else. Men at War? Is that with Sergeant Rock? I don't... I honestly don't remember, man. I have to look. Where is it? Do I have it around here? No, it's on the other side of the room. I'll look at it later. But yeah, guys, Creature Commandos. Oh, such a good show. If you guys haven't watched it, I actually really recommend you at least give it a shot. Forget about all the controversy right now with Supergirl. Like, this on its own is like just a really interesting show. I like it a lot. Alright, so like and subscribe. Comment. Let me know your thoughts. And I'm going to work on the next video.